The throne room of the Draconic Imperium trembled as Empress Jarketh's roar echoed through the crystalline halls. Her massive form, scales gleaming like molten gold in the light of twin suns streaming through the cathedral windows, loomed over the lone human standing before her. Hunter stood perfectly still, his weathered face betraying no emotion. The scars that traced across his jaw and neck, remnants of the border wars, seemed to glow faintly in the imperial light. His simple veteran's jacket, adorned only with a single faded earth insignia, looked absurdly plain in the opulent chamber. "Answer me, human!" The Empress's voice was thunder given form. Her claws, each longer than Hunter's forearm, scraped against the obsidian floor. "Why does Princess Sarah, heir to the eternal flame, daughter of my blood, call you husband?" Behind the Empress, the court had fallen into absolute silence. Dragon lords and ladies, beings who had conquered star systems and broken fleets, dared not even breathe loudly. To the right of the throne, Sarah stood with her head held high. Unlike her mother's full draconic form, Sarah appeared mostly human, a result of her father's bloodline, with only the telltale golden eyes and the faint shimmer of scales along her temples betraying her heritage. "Because I married her, Your Imperial Majesty," Hunter replied, his voice calm and measured. "3 months ago, on Frontier Station Delta 7. It's all legal and registered with both Earth's colonial administration and the Imperium's diplomatic corps." The Empress's tail whipped around, smashing through a marble pillar as if it were paper. "Legal? Legal?" Flames licked at the corners of her mouth. "My daughter is not some common colonist to be wed in a frontier station. She is royalty. She is power incarnate." "She is also a person," Hunter said quietly, "with her own will." The temperature in the room spiked 20 degrees. Several courtiers fainted, but then Sarah stepped forward. "Mother, stop." The Empress's fury faltered just for a moment. When she spoke again, her voice carried centuries of pain beneath the rage. "You do not understand what you have done, daughter. Humans are fragile. They live such brief lives. Do you know what it is to love something that will die before you've barely begun your own life?" "I know exactly what I'm choosing," Sarah said firmly. She moved to stand beside Hunter, taking his scarred hand in hers. "I've known since the day he saved my life." "Saved your—" The Empress stopped, her massive eyes narrowing. "Explain." Hunter shifted uncomfortably, but Sarah squeezed his hand and continued. 2 years ago, I was on a diplomatic mission to the outer reaches. Young and arrogant, I thought my name and bloodline made me invincible. When the Krill raiders attacked our convoy, I learned differently." The court gasped. The Krill were nightmare creatures, silicon-based horrors that dissolved metal and flesh with equal ease. "My guards died protecting me." Sarah's voice wavered slightly. "My ship was burning. I was alone, injured, trapped. And then this human veteran who happened to be passing through the sector on a cargo run heard the distress beacon." Hunter finally spoke. Anyone would have responded. "No," Sarah said firmly. "The sector was under Krill quarantine. Every ship with any sense had fled. But you came anyway, in a beaten-up freighter held together with prayers and spare parts." "The ship had good bones," Hunter muttered. "He flew through a Krill swarm," Sarah told her mother. "Took damage to systems he couldn't afford to repair. Risked his life for someone he'd never met. When he found me, half-conscious and surrounded by raiders, he didn't hesitate." The Empress leaned forward. "How did a lone human defeat Krill warriors?" For the first time, Hunter's expression hardened into something cold and ancient. "The same way we defeated them during the border wars, Your Majesty, with stubbornness, improvisation, and the absolute refusal to accept defeat." He met the Empress's gaze without flinching. "I wasn't some decorated hero. I was a combat engineer. We didn't fight pretty. We fought to survive. And when Krill boarded my ship, I showed them why humans earned their reputation in those wars. Sarah continued the story. He sealed bulkheads, vented atmosphere, used every trap and dirty trick in the book. He was wounded in 6 places by the time he reached me. But he didn't stop. He carried me to the escape pod, programmed the ship for a collision course with the Krill capital ship, and got us out with seconds to spare. His ship? The Empress asked quietly. Destroyed, Hunter said simply. Everything I owned. And you asked for no reward? No recognition? I asked for a ride to the nearest station and maybe some medical attention. Sarah smiled despite the tension. He tried to leave while I was unconscious in the hospital, just slip away like he'd done nothing remarkable. I had to hunt him down in the station's lower levels where he was looking for work. And you fell in love with this scarred refugee? The Empress's tone was softer now, almost confused. I fell in love with the man who saw a person in danger and chose compassion over self-preservation, Sarah said. Who taught me that true nobility isn't in bloodlines or power, but in what you do when no one is watching. Who showed me that humans, for all their fragility, have something we dragons sometimes lack, the ability to care more about others than themselves. The Empress was silent for a long moment. When she spoke again, the fury had drained from her voice, replaced by something that might have been sadness. You know what this means, daughter. If you truly choose this path, you will watch him age while you remain young. You will hold his hand as illness and time claim him. You will mourn him for thousands of years. I know, Sarah said, her voice steady. But I would rather have 50 years of true partnership with this man than 1,000 years of loneliness in a gilded cage. He's taught me that it's not the length of time that matters. It's what you do with it. Hunter finally looked at Sarah, and for a moment, the hardened veteran's mask cracked, revealing the depth of emotion beneath. I'm just a man, Sarah. Broken, scarred, with nothing to offer but myself. That, Sarah said, touching his face gently, is everything I want. The Empress closed her massive eyes. When she opened them again, they gleamed with unshed tears that sparkled like diamonds. Very well. But know this, Hunter of Earth. You have married not just my daughter, but taken on the responsibility of an empire's future. If you break her heart, there is no corner of the galaxy where you can hide from my wrath. Hunter straightened, his hand finding Sarah's. Your Majesty, I didn't survive the border wars, the Krill, and countless other horrors just to give up on the best thing that ever happened to me. I may only have one human lifetime, but I swear on everything I am. I'll make every moment count. For the first time since the confrontation began, the Empress smiled. It was a terrible, beautiful sight. Then perhaps there is hope for your species yet, human. You may be fragile, but you burn so very, very bright. As the court erupted in shocked murmurs and the Empress formally acknowledged the union, Sarah leaned against Hunter's shoulder. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For being brave enough to love a dragon princess. Hunter chuckled, the sound weary but genuine. Compared to everything else I've survived, falling in love with you was the easiest thing I've ever done. Outside the palace, the twin suns set over the Draconic Imperium's capital, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson, the colors of empire and humanity intertwined at last.